Okay.
All right. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to open up the meeting at 8 p.m. We're going to do stand up. We're going to do a flag salute and then a moment of silence, please. Mr. Stegwish, would you like to start the Pledge of Allegiance?
Certainly. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. You may be seated. Kathleen, if you could read the notice of adequate statement, please.
Sure. All attendees and participants agree to conduct themselves in a manner appropriate for public gathering. Individual speakers should be advised that no right of privacy protects a person's public comments made in a public forum. Accordingly, all participants bear responsibility for their own statements and commentary. Resolution 26-144, resolution to read budget by title only.
Okay.
Need a motion?
Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion to adopt?
Adopt,
with-
yes. Motion to adopt. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Committee Person Zabrowski,
Yes.
Committee Person Ziner,
Yes.
and Mayor Farrow.
Yes.
Okay, next is the presentation of the 2026 municipal budget.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Melissa Peerboom. I'm the Township CFO. Tonight, this is the 2026 budget adoption for Millstone Township. Here's our Township Committee, some of our municipal officials, Kevin Abernathy, myself, Kathleen are here tonight. We also have our tax collector. Our Township Auditor is also here, along with our Township Attorney, Brian. Just to let you know, this is, not a overnight task. We actually start end of prior year gathering information. Departments work very hard putting together their budgets. They're submitted to the finance office. They're reviewed along with myself and the township administrator, Kevin Abernathy. We review if we have questions. We meet with the department heads. We then meet with township committee. We do a workshop. We go over pretty much line by line of the entire budget. So if anybody has any questions, everything's clear. And then we move to introduction.
Can I just interrupt you for a second? The
Sure.
budget workshop, is that open to the public?
Yes,
Okay. So anybody and everybody's invited?
everybody's invited.
Okay.
So, first slide, Millstone Township tax bill. Oh, you want?
Went too far?
Yep,
Okay.
just start. So, along, I guess, with myself and many other co-workers, many residents call and, where did all my tax money go? Well, this is where your tax money goes. So out of our entire tax bill breakdown, 66.9% goes to the school. So for the 2020 tax year, it's $37,749,000. Next up is the county, which is 14.9%, which we're currently estimated to be about 8.3. We haven't received the finalized number on that. The municipal receives $5,292,000. The special district, which is our fire district, is 3.479. And then we have a dedicated municipal open space tax, and that trust will receive $1.5 million with this year's budget breakdown. So for the 2026, you could see our net valuation taxable and then actual from 2025. Currently the 26 is estimated. We had a 4.6% increase. The local amount to be raised by taxation, we went up $291,000 from prior year. We're anticipating our local municipal tax rate to be 0.21. Last year it was 0.208. Our tax collection rate that's used Last year, with the actual collection rate was 99.07, and this year we're estimating at 98.38. The average home assessment for 2026 is estimated to be $642,000, and an average home will pay $1,356 in municipal tax only. That's just the municipal tax,
And that's for the year.
and that's for the year.
So can you repeat that, please?
$1,356 for an average home assessment at $642,000. The Township of Municipal Office will receive. So that average, so we have an increase of $66.44 from last year tax bill. So some of the goals that we've discussed for the 2026 budget was to maintain a stable and responsible municipal tax levy, fund necessary capital improvements to preserve and enhance our community, prioritize expenditures to align with the township operational needs and our long-term strategic objectives, and to continue investments in energy efficiency and initiatives to reduce operating costs and improve sustainability. So here you'll see two charts. One's our annual net valuation taxable from 2017 to 2026, and also along with our local municipal tax rate from 2017 to 2026. Our annual tax collection percentages have been pretty steady the last few years, with our lowest tax collection rate being in 2019. We just recently had our highest annual tax collection at 99.08. So here's a summary of our revenue. Fund balance. This year we're using 1.7. Compared to last year we used $2.8 million with a change of 1.1. One of the reasons for the utilization going down is last year we had a fully funded capital ordinance. So we paid cash for the road improvement program and some equipment purchases for DPW. Grants this year, we have in our budget $86,763. Last year we had a grant from the DCA that we're currently using for our benches and tree program at Millstone Park for improvements. Our interest on investments, we're utilizing the same, or it's flat. Miscellaneous revenues slightly increased. Those are our fees, not construction fees, just like regular land use, municipal clerk fees and stuff like that. Municipal courts remained flat at 30. Our property tax are increased $291,000. Receipts from delinquent tax, state aid, our cellular tower lease, and our construction code all remained flat. So,
So the net operating cost to run the town actually went down.
yes. So fund balance surplus overview. New Jersey budgeting laws require municipalities to only anticipate revenues to the extent received in prior year. So for such as for the construction revenue, if we received, say, 475 last year, I can't use more than that in the budget for the next year.
Which is why you went from 450 to 450.
Yes. So whatever we receive in prior year. Obviously, the goal is to put back to surplus as much as we can and increase our revenues. So I tend to be a little bit conservative on my interest because I know we have some good investments, and I know that number is going to cover any of our shortages if construction doesn't meet our anticipated revenue. I know we have a couple other accounts where we will bring in additional funding to cover those loss of revenue. Fund balance and surpluses accumulated in prior years is used to balance the budget. So I just gave a little synopsis of the prior years of the balance of the surplus, what we've utilized in the budget. Last year we did use quite a bit of cash, which again, we used for a fully funded capital ordinance. So with utilizing the 1.7 million, we will still have a surplus balance of 1.9.
Didn't we also pay down debt?
We do. We have a slide coming up.
Okay.
You can see where we're at with our debt service.
You want to go to the next slide?
Yes, please. So this is just an analysis of our budget appropriations. General appropriations inside cap, 6 million. Total general operation, this is including like our capital. Outside cap, 469. Capital improvements, we have 317,000. Municipal debt service, we're paying down 1.6 million. And then the reserve for uncollected taxes is a 915,000. So a little bit of analysis of our capital improvements. I just want to, this is just an estimated projection of our capital projects within the next 6 years. Since we are over 10,000 residents, it's required that we have a 6-year plan in our budget. These are not definite items that we're utilizing. These are, again, it's just a plan. This year, we're planning for certain elements. If we do them or don't, but if it's not in my capital, I would have to resubmit a capital budget. We would not be able to authorize any funding unless it's been in the capital plan. So over the next 6 years, we have an estimated public works of equipment, 563,800. Our road improvement program, we're expecting to spend another 4,252,000. That does not include DOT grants that we do every year. We apply for a DOT grant, and we usually don't proceed with a road program until we've received a grant. We generally receive one every year. Improvements to building and parks, 539,000. I just want to specify that does not include grants. And land purchase and improvements, 6 million. So here is our debt management slide. As you can see, our highest point of debt was 1.886, and that was in 2020, and has increasingly gone down. 2021, we've been paying down and this number also includes the open space debt, that any money that we had borrowed through the open space to purchase open space.
That was the year the rates were very low, that we refinanced everything we could. We borrowed extra money. Basically, a 12-year average life was slightly over 1.16% net.
Yeah, it was cheap to borrow money.
So that's why we loaded up as much as we could, and rates aren't anywhere. Haven't seen that time since then.
And we're reaping the benefits of it.
So our net debt for the percentage of 3 years average equalized valuation for 2025 is 0.474.
So it's going in the right direction.
So the next slide just contains what the average homeowner pays, $1,356.09, or averages $113 a month in municipal tax. These are the items, some of the items that are provided from our public works, vital statistics, community events. This year we did have an additional event, the America's 250th at the Thomas Baird Homestead, the encampment. We have recycling, we have revenue collection, we have additional, we pick up Christmas trees, we do spring and fall brush drop off. So these are just some of the items that we work on during the year with the $1,356. So, continuing ongoing management, we collaborate and we work effort to manage new challenge and priorities. We continue to review appropriations and try to reduce costs. We research additional revenue sources, and we responsibly manage our debt. And that's it. And that's just an overview of our budget for the year 2026.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to open up the budget review to the public. If anybody would like to come up and ask a question, make a comment.
Yeah, we're opening it up at 8:15 for the public hearing.
Okay. Anybody? You did a great job. There's no questions. All right.
Make sure that's in the minutes.
Yeah,
No, for real, make sure it's in there. That it's in the minutes, that there were no comments from the
no
public.
public comment, yep. And we,
I'll make a comment from Dennis, thanking Melissa for the hard work, effort that went in, and the rest of the team that pulled these numbers together, and.
you gotta close it first. Can you
Yes,
please
yeah.
close it?
Yeah. At this point, since there's nobody from the public, I'd
Well,
like to make a
I'm not from the
comment.
public anymore.
No,
I'd like to close it out at
8:16,
8:15. Thank you.
16. Okay, now you can speak,
Yeah,
Kevin.
so I
Okay.
definitely want to thank Melissa for the effort, the rest of the team for putting up, all the information that's required to do this. Obviously, you can't give everybody what they want, whether it's the residents or the employees, so we try to do what we can best. So, and I think she did a great job and with a very sensible budget.
Okay.
Okay,
Resolution.
so we have the resolution 26-145, resolution to adopt the 2026 municipal budget.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adopt the budget?
I move to adopt.
I'll
Second.
second.
Roll call.
Committee Person Zabrowski?
Yeah.
Committee Person Ziner?
Yes.
And Mayor Farrow?
Yes.
Okay, the budget is adopted.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
So the next up is a public hearing on a grant application. Monmouth County Municipal Park Improvement Grant Program application for Abbott Park, 29 Charleston Springs Road, Block 45, Lot 5.33. Kevin?
So yes, Monmouth County is kind enough to do match funding of grants for parks improvements, historical type of things, and they've given out quite a few. I think 51 of the 53 towns have actually taken advantage of it. We've taken advantage of it in numerous times, whether it's our historic, I believe last year, park acquisition on Spring Road, in park improvements that we've done. So usually what they would look for is projects that develop new or expand improved recreation opportunities. So they also have, past performance, a municipality's record for completion of projects. These are all different criteria that go into it. Relationship to Monmouth County Open Space Plan, other planning efforts, and that includes supporting open space, which Millstone does to the tune of roughly $1.5 million a year, as Melissa just, described. With innovative design and historic preservation, which I mentioned, but one of the things they also want is community support. Expression of public support through testimony at a public hearing or letters, participation of partners or outside funding support. So basically at this presentation, that's what I'd be looking for, to inform the township of what we're looking to do and look for the township's residents' support. If you look on the back of the room, we have a picture of the survey of Abbott Park, kind of as built on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side, you can see some of the conditions of some of the courts that we have currently. So obviously, that's not acceptable, and we're going to be looking for the county to ask the maximum award that they would give is up to $500,000, and that's what we'll be looking for. The park itself has been roughly, I think, 19, almost 20 years old, and it really hasn't had any kind of major facelift in a long time. There's an existing wall, that was used for handball that's fallen apart. So we're going to remove the asphalt surface there. We're going to probably put it in synthetic type surf with sand base to allow it to be used for, say, a batting cage or some other functional type of recreation space. The existing tennis courts, there's 3 of them currently, will be replaced. And we're still looking to see what type of material we're gonna replace it with. As many of you know, asphalt holds up for 3 to 5 years. There's a new high-tension concrete court system that's available on the market. Freehold Township actually is installing it over at Tide Park. We've actually went over there to check to see how it's being done. A cabling type of thing with 4 inches of concrete. Supposedly, they will give us a 50-year guarantee against cracking. So asphalt, that's unheard of. The company that supports the guarantee is like $1 billion company, so they should be around in 50 years. I know I won't be, so. The court right now has 3 tennis courts on the tennis courts, and we'd like to put in 4 pickleball there. So the footprint will be slightly expanded to provide proper spacing for the pickleball and better accommodate the proposed layout. The basketball court will be removed and replaced with hopefully the high-tension concrete surface. I say hopefully is, it all depends on some of the grant. If we don't get, the 500,000 or a very small portion of that, then we might have to break this down into, phase 1, phase 2, or come up with a different material. The existing courts have experienced above-average crackings, so that the township supports the decision to consider a more durable long-term solution, although that the initial concrete construction may or will be higher. Acrylic playing surfaces will still be put on top. About every 10 years will need to be redone. However, that would also be required with traditional asphalt courts. So the key advantage is high-tension concrete would be based to provide a more durable, stable foundation. We're also, it's one of our only parks that doesn't have a flagpole. There's been some residents there that would promise the flagpole, so we'd like to do that, maybe extend the parking lot, and if the funding is available where the stone is, to maybe even asphalt, that, and continue that through. So I'd be looking for the township support, I'd be looking for the resident support, and obviously we'll be sending an application out to Monmouth County by early July, and I'll be looking for their support as well.
Okay.
I'd like to open that to the public also for comment or questions.
That's what I was just about to
Oh,
ask.
sorry.
No, that's all right. At this point, because this is, on the public agenda, and Kevin did a presentation on it, I'd like to open it up to the public and ask if anybody has any comments, any suggestions that would help us out in order to enable us to, ask for that grant, and hopefully with your support, we can get it.
Okay, we're opening it at 8:23.
Dan Murphy, 38 Carriageway. As you guys know, Abate Park has been a point for me, and I strongly support...
Oh, wait, let me turn that microphone on, sorry.
Should I start from the beginning?
Yeah, would you please? Thank you.
Dan Murphy, 38 Carriageway. As the board knows that I've been in here and talked about Abate Park, and I'm very happy to see that some progress looks like it's going to be made. I believe this township is worthy of first-class parks, and this is a great step towards it. On that note, I would donate the flagpole, should you get that grant approved. So if there is any question from the county looking for donations, I personally would donate the flagpole. And I spoke to someone in the Business Alliance now, we might lead some sort of effort to get some money, raise some money, funds, whatever we can through the Business Alliance for that project, if Monmouth County gives us the full grant. So it gives you something to go back to the county and say, we have some people that are willing to residents put something in the pot.
Yeah, I think they would probably look for a little more substantial. We already tell them we gotta have it, but to have a letter or something from
Yeah.
you that I could put in with the application would be helpful.
I would put up to,
Actually, to his point, not just a letter from you, but a letter
The
from
Alliance.
everybody
Yep.
separately. So the more letters we have from
Yeah.
different individuals will go a lot
I
further
would
than
include
just...
it right in the application package.
Yeah.
Here are some of the groups that.
as you know, I live down the block from Abate Park. I walk in the park every day almost.
Residents,
And
whatever.
my kids My grandkids play in the park, so I expect them to outlast that 50 years
Yep.
of that. And I would say that I would get up to $10,000 in donations for that if you can get the county. And I'm putting it on the record now. If you can get that county, I'll get $10,000 towards that.
Yeah,
Okay?
if you could go back, not just to the Business Alliance, but to anybody, ask them to write a letter of support, that will go right into
I want
the
to lead
grant
that
application.
effort for all the parks, including Millstone. If we can get grants based on residents or getting donations, I believe that's very important for the residents and the kids in this town.
Perfect, thank you.
It's on the record there.
Thank you.
Do you want to announce a due date for the letters of support?
Yeah, sorry, Dan, we actually have to have the application in by, I think it's July 9th, so if you could have it by the end of June to me, this way I could have it all bundled in with the package.
Referring to letters of support?
Yeah, letters of support.
Thank you.
You got that, Pat?
Yeah, it's down lower, I'm sure. Pat Butch, 40 Protland Way. I'm very happy to see that this is moving forward. The Millstone Township Open Space Council has been talking about this at the last couple of meetings. We actually didn't know that you were taking this action with this grant in particular, so we were actually looking for grants that we could possibly leverage to do some of this work. We also, the councils, both the Open Space Council and the Ag Council, had been talking about the potential of using some of the funds raised at the clam bake this year to purchase the flag. So you actually have two different groups that have prioritized that as a potential donation. The Open Space Council could certainly supply a letter of support for this grant, since we have discussed it, we're all in favor at the last meeting. The Friends of Millstone Township Historic Registered Properties also have talked about it at their last meeting and support the project. The Historic Preservation Council meets tomorrow night. That is on their agenda as well. I do have a couple of things I'd just like to point out in the grant application as I'm understanding it from your presentation. So we are not losing any of the recreation type facilities that are currently there, is that correct?
You would be losing handball that hasn't.
So
been
the
used.
handball court would go away.
Correct.
But
And- but-
that's gonna get
but
replaced
we-
by pickleball.
But we would be adding other aspects, which
Correct.
are
Correct.
4 pickleball courts. What else is being added?
It's going to be an area where you could maybe throw lacrosse balls or a batting type of a cage area as well on a synthetic surface, which we don't have.
Are we also adding any parking? Or do we not have a need for extra
We're-
parking?
Well, if we expand the parking lot, right now it's gravel, so we wouldn't be necessarily expanding. Around the flagpole, there'd be like a roundabout to turn around, so there would be something there, but it all depends on, are we gonna have funding for parking, spaces per se, or whatever. I don't see putting in electric type of things at this stage, or,
Okay. And then as far as trails, there is an existing trail there now.
correct, which
Is
also
that
needs.
expanding as
some
well,
help.
or is that being, going to remain
Not,
the
not
same?
at this time.
I also just want to point out that I didn't have a chance, I wanted to get out my tax maps. I think there's trails on other properties next to the park that might be able to be
I believe that
incorporated.
would be to your south on the left-hand
Yes.
side, there's some trails.
So I think it would be good if you can put it in the grant to expand or connect that trail with the other trail, because that also shows an expansion of services to the residents,
Yeah.
which is what this grant is looking
No,
for.
that's exactly what they're,
Okay, so I think that's great. I just wanted to put it on the record that there are
Yeah.
definite additional activities that will be available to residents with this design of park improvement.
I think.
The other area that I'd like to talk a little bit about is leveraging of funding. And my belief is, did you apply for another grant from another source for this park?
We have not gotten.
Not that you know whether you've been awarded it, but did you
I-
apply for it?
I don't think we were awarded it.
You don't think we're getting anything from that grant?
I wouldn't bet on it at this stage, correct.
Okay, so that this would be, and then also, just to be very clear, the funding for this half, it's a matching grant, so we have to put in what we get, the same amount of money. That would be coming from the Open Space Trust account, correct?
Correct,
Not from the municipal tax rate.
correct.
So I just want to make sure that that's on record also. And the organizations I belong to would be happy to to give you those support letters that you're looking for.
And they would be greatly appreciated
And,
by the end of the month.
Yes, and good luck. I hope that you get a full award.
Yeah,
for the-
unfortunately, it's a very competitive award. The county started, it used to be like 4 million, and they'd get about $7 million a request. Then they went to 6 million, then they'd get about $8 million a request. This year, it's gonna be up to 7 million, but it's open to 53 towns. Some of the awards go for as low as 30,000, some, they cap out at 50. So, there was a presentation today the county put out over in Hominy Hill that I attended. There wasn't 53 towns there, but you don't know who's gonna be applying. So it's competitive, we have to be, they don't really like just fixing up courts, as you alluded to, you'd like to increase, what your capacity is. But, we've been a very good partner with the county, they've been very good to us, so we like to try to work with them under the scope of things and try to do what they would like to invest the money in.
Right, and just to note, it's only been a couple of years now that the award amount is up to $500,000. It was at $250,000. They've doubled that as well, so the last couple of years, they've been
And
giving a
with-
larger.
With the, what
awards.
they call it as the lead property on Spring, we were the first ones to jump in there and they actually take advantage of that. where they
We've
were-
used this grant over and over again for acquisitions,
Yes,
for development, et cetera, so
Yeah.
it has been,
but we will delete that from the county, I don't want them hearing that part,
you can leave that part out. Okay,
Wait,
thank you.
Before you go,
Yeah.
I just want to say publicly thank you for all the work that you did for the 250th celebration at Bear Park a couple of weeks ago. I understand there was close to 700 or 800, guests that came in and were part of the activities, and it was a very successful event. I think it was a year in the making, just to let you know. And she chaired it, and she got a lot of people to volunteer, and it was a great event, so thank you.
You're welcome. We had about 50 volunteers that day. We did an exit survey at the end, and the rating for the overall survey was like 4.89 out of 5, so it was very well received by the public. So very happy with the results. A little windy that day, but
Yes,
it
it
was
was.
a good day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Kevin and I were holding tents down.
Is there a written plan for this park, so we can sort of shop it around, give presentations for helping with the?
we are in the process, it's still, had to get through here today, and
Okay.
then we'll start fine tuning it. The problem is, without knowing the exact amount of money we're gonna have, we're dealing with material, square footage, and we haven't put it out to, 3 contractors. We have a good idea what it's
The
gonna
basic
cost.
proposal, I
Yes.
heard
I'll get,
tickets and things like that.
I'll be able to
Maybe-
get something
maybe
to you.
appeal to different people,
Yeah,
if it would give us an opportunity at the Business Alliance to present it.
Yeah.
And say, this is what they're proposing, would you like to be a part of it?
I'll get something
I
out
can get
publicly
something.
fairly shortly, but I had to get through tonight first.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. I'd like to close it at,
8:33.
thank you. And now the consent agenda, resolutions.
Okay. Resolutions, consent resolutions. All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered routine by the Township Committee and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If discussion is desired of any item, that item will be considered separately. 26-146, payment of vouchers, June 17, 2026. 26-147, resolution authorizing the issuance of alcohol beverage 2026-2027 license for the Loyal Order of Moose Jackson Lodge, number 1459, license number 1332-31007001. 26-148, resolution authorizing the renewal of alcohol beverage 2026-2027 license for Vesuvio's Family Restaurant LLC, license number 1332-33001010. 26-149, resolution authorizing the renewal of alcohol beverage 2026-2027 license for Domile Restaurant Corp. Pocket license number 1332-33003011. 26-150, resolution authorizing the renewal of alcohol beverage 2026-2027 license for Wines and Liquors Millstone LLC, license number 1332-44-004008. 26-151, resolution appointing seasonal clean communities employees. 26-152, resolution authorizing Monmouth County Park grant improvements to Abbott Park. 26-153, resolution conditionally approving a 2-year extension of the mining pit for Buck Mining and Materials, Inc., Block 28, lots 11 and 13.01. 26-154, resolution approving and authorizing the submission of a grant application and execution of a grant agreement with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for improvements to Windsor Road. 26-155, resolution authorizing self-examination of budget.
Thank you for that. Do I have a motion to adopt the table, please?
I'll move to adopt.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Roll call, please.
Committeeperson Zabrowski?
Yeah.
Committeeperson Ziner?
Yes.
Mayor Farrow.
Yes.
Reports from various departments for May 2026. Tax collector, $10,444,673.62. Clerk's report, $996. Dog license, $701.20. Municipal court, $9,914.89. Recreation, $134,506.57. Construction, $39,925. COA, $11,250. And the 2026 interest revenue is included.
Thank you. Have a motion to file?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Okay, Township Committee minutes. Regular meeting minutes, May 6, 2026.
Motion to adopt the table?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call?
Committeeperson Zabrowski?
Yes.
Committeeperson, oh, sorry, I didn't wait. Committeeperson Zabrowski?
Yes.
Committeeperson Ziner?
Yes.
Mayor Farrow.
Yes.
Executive meeting minutes, May 6, 2026.
Motion to adopt the table?
Make a motion to adopt.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeperson Zabrowski?
Yes.
Committeeperson Ziner?
Yes.
Mayor Farrow.
Yes.
Applications for raffle licenses. Freehold Township High School Community Partners, Inc., RA number 353, on-premise 50/50 raffle to be held on August 4, 2026 at Charleston Springs Golf Course, 101 Woodville Road, Millstone.
Motion to approve the table, please.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Freehold Township High School Community Partners, Inc., RA number 354, on-premise merchandise raffle to be held on August 4, 2026 at Charleston Springs Golf Course, 101 Woodville Road, Millstone.
Thank you. Motion to approve the table, please.
Make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, liaison reports. Do you have any?
Yes, I got a couple things. So the Millstone Township Master Plan Reexamination Report and Land Use Element Digital Survey is live and will be open until Wednesday, June 24th. Last Wednesday, we had our planning board meeting where we reviewed the information that was collected from the public portion. And we also reviewed some of the digital survey responses. And as of yet, we only have 168 responses to this digital survey out of all the residents we have. So if you could please go online, fill out the survey, and make sure your voice is heard, we would greatly appreciate it so that we can take this into consideration as we're doing the master plan reexamination. The seniors had their meeting this past Tuesday. If you're interested in joining, their next meeting is 11 to 2:30 on Tuesday, July 14th at the community center. And it's their annual 4th of July celebration. They're having a barbecue. So if anybody's interested and you're a senior, please come over and see what they're all about. The Open Space and Ag Council Clam Bake was last Sunday, June 7th. I think we had a great turnout. Pat was instrumental, Suzanne was instrumental in, organizing this, kicking this off, getting all the volunteers. And we had a lot of people show up, and I think it was very successful.
So I had the privilege of going to a fire department ceremonial event on June 8th with Kevin. Kevin was with me. Our Millstone Township Fire District ended up swearing in 2 new firemen, and that goes to help out the radio runs and the calls of service to all Millstone residents. In addition to that, we had 1 captain retire, and somebody who was a lieutenant was promoted to captain. So we're filling the ranks. And there were numerous awards that were given for bravery and courage, where several firemen, some delivered babies, others extracted people out of vehicles, mutual aid. That means that our fire department ended up helping a different municipality when they were in need, and they helped save lives there, helped transport victims and injured people to different hospitals, and they got several awards for that. Kevin, do you want to chime in on anything?
Yeah, they also had an event at the school where they had to evacuate somebody from like 40-something feet in
40
high,
feet,
so you had
yeah.
a lot of rope and things like that. They actually got an award for bringing one of my good friends back to life, so that was good.
Yeah, actually, somebody went DOA in the ambulance while they were transporting, and they got the vitals back, and they brought him to Center State, and that person is still with us because of the efforts of our fire department. What Kevin is referring to, there was a middle school student that was in the Impact Center that was 40 feet in the air in the catwalk during a presentation, and ended up losing their, a little consciousness, was not able to be conscious to the point where they knew what they were doing and was holding on. FD responded. I think it was mutual aid as well from other departments. Manalapan and Jackson and Monroe came, and they ended up doing some sort of hoisting system, put the child into like a bed, and they actually lowered him down to safety and then took him over, to the hospital. Thank God that child is fine, he's happy and healthy, so that's good. So these are all things that happen that you guys don't know about, but we want to tell you about, all good things. So thank you to the fire department that we have, and we work very closely with them, and we support them 100%.
Well, I have one more.
Go ahead.
It's been going on for about 18 years, the Scooter Corner. They're actually putting together a pre-construction meeting. So they've moved the
Hallelujah.
poles, they've been moving the wires. We should be hearing very shortly, all right, what the plan is, how it's going to be laid out. But it's not a quick job. It's going to take quite a while, but I'll have more details at hopefully the next meeting.
Now, to his point, the reason why it takes so long is because there's Millstone involved, there's the county involved, there's New Jersey State involved, and there's the federal agencies involved. So you know how the wheels of government move, very slow. Now multiply that by 4 different government agencies, and that will give you some sort of idea of how long, the pendulum takes to go from one side to the other. But we're chugging along, and we're going to get there eventually, so thank you for that. All right, that's all I have as far as that. New business. Jersey Meds Management, presentation of new CBD law. Who would like to come up and speak, and I'll put your presentation up as well?
Just a brief introduction, okay? So my family owns a CBD store in Millstone, and
Excuse
Say
me.
your
you-
name.
You gotta say your name
address.
and
Yeah, you have
oh,
to
sorry,
your name and
my
address.
name is Pratibha Bukalaka, and
I think you may have to spell it.
Yeah,
okay, can I give it to you now or
yeah, you can
now.
spell it.
P-O-T-H-A-R
Okay, B-O-T-H-A-R.
L-A-N-K-A. So,
And
my
address.
family opens an address. I'm not local actually. But my address is 30 Belmont Circle. Okay, so my family owns a CBD store in the Millstone Township. It's on Millstone Road near the Outlet Mall. So basically, we are now in the 3rd year of business, and the store has been successful. More importantly, we built a strong relationships with local residents who have appreciated having a convenient access to these products close to home rather than traveling elsewhere. And so over the past years, we've demonstrated that we can operate responsibly, comply with regulations, and be a positive member to this community. Our customers have consistently supported the business and have expressed appreciation for having a trusted local retailer. So recently, the CBD, previously mentioned changes in both New Jersey regulations and anticipated federal regulations have moved CBD products into more regulated cannabis framework. And that's why I'm bringing my partners. We have a Jersey Meds dispensary in Pennington, New Jersey. And we want to transition from the CBD business into a cannabis business. And we have a cannabis consultant who would like to present Jersey Meds management.
Sure. Just state
Good
your
evening.
name.
Absolutely. My name is Ellie Siegel. I am the CEO of Longview Strategic. I am here on behalf of Jersey Meds, and Longview Strategic is based in Marlton. Do you need our office address as well?
Sure.
Sure. It's 10,000 Lincoln Drive East, Suite 201, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053. And that was Longview Strategic. And I'll give you each, I have 5 copies. I think we worked it out pretty close to enough.
Just let me know when you want to go to the next slide.
Absolutely, thank you. It's kind of wonderful to be following a budget presentation. We propose to be a new source of revenue, essentially. That's the summary, high level, just like the lines, that you went through. We would come in significantly higher than, for example, the telecom antenna, less than some of your other revenue sources. But the idea is here, we're going to talk a little bit about a few different things, but ultimately it's an opportunity for the township, that is. And, I can answer any questions. We brought the team so that you can understand what it is that we're talking about. We completely understand that the township is currently opted out, and so one of the things we wanted to do is just talk about what we've done in the location where we do operate, to give you an idea of what we could do in this location that is currently a shuttered CBD store. If you could go to the next slide for me. Just as a high level, I'm going to give you a minute or two on where we're at with cannabis. I'm going to talk specifically about Jersey Meds in that, and then specifically the Millstone commercial corridors and the framework for municipal success, if you were interested, how we would propose that it could move forward if the township were so inclined. Next slide, please. So our leadership team is here. Jersey Meds Management is a Class 5 license holder. That is, a Class 5 license is the retail license issued by the Cannabis Regulatory Commission in New Jersey. Jersey Meds holds one of those. They operate what is Mercer County's top independent retail store. Highest revenue for an independent retailer in all of Mercer County. The proposed site currently, as Pratibha mentioned, is 504 Monmouth Road. Because they did operate a CBD location, it is currently shuttered. It would be a viable spot to activate relatively quickly with a regulated cannabis shop. And we believe firmly that the facility would bring prosperity for Millstone Township. As you can see featured on the slide, we have Dolly with us. Dolly has decades as a successful local business owner in various businesses. Dolly has owned gas stations, she's owned convenience stores, most recently a very successful cannabis retail operation in Mercer County. She's also dealt with many regulated items in the stores, including alcohol, tobacco, lottery, and now recreational cannabis. Kapil, who is with us as well as the managing director, active management experience, driving the store's success, many legal regulated businesses as well. And then Pratibha is a doctor, a medical director and co-owner of the business, has decades of experience in managing physician practices, and came to the space when it was medical, with a focus on helping patients. The team transitioned to recreational when it was possible to serve a wider variety of consumer, but with a focus on wellness and health and keeping people, providing access to products that people want to feel better. If you could go to the next slide for me. They are Mercer County's favorite local retailer. As you can see, the cannabis experience today, as shown in that right picture, that is the inside of their store in Mercer County. That's a giant screen at the end that features all kinds of different things on the screen about their business. It can feature things about local businesses, historic aspects of the area, all kinds of great things that can be featured within the space. But it's a beautiful store. And what I would point out is that today, these operations are similar to a jewelry store or even in some cases a medical office. They can only sell legal products from a licensed supplier, which is a supply chain that is all completely regulated from seed to sale. The orders are made online almost all the time. It's a very high majority of orders that are placed online now, and people generally come through to pick up. No lines, no, big traffic delays or anything like that. The products are sealed in child-resistant packaging. That's required by state law, so they are not open or displayed. Nobody's allowed to touch or smell or see any of the products in the store. That's by regulation. The control is access limited. People must be over 21. They are carded, must show valid ID. That it is a one-to-one service after that, so there is a very close interaction, educational process. Oftentimes, you'd be amazed by the demographic of customer that comes in, sleep issues or knee pain, and they're just trying to figure out what might help. Other people, it's social anxiety or things that they just want to kind of describe and have someone help them to figure out what that would be. It's a very personal experience, so a lot of times it's a one-on-one transaction. Then there's software that tracks every single sale. Like I said, seed to sale, these products are tracked through the whole supply chain to that end consumer. Ultimately, this is a source of revenue to the township because the trickle down is a 2% tax to the township. And so one of the numbers that we're highlighting here is that in just 2025, only their second year of operation in Pennington, Jersey Meds paid to the town $101,360. It is ramping up. That is increasing over time. They're doing better and better every day. Some places throughout the state, saturation is causing stores to go in the other direction. Jersey Meds is actually finding that they're still capturing market share and growing. The total transactions for them in 2025, as you can see, 64,433, so a large volume of transactions, all handled completely compliantly, no issues, just gold standard. So, we wanted to talk about here, how this translates from Pennington to Millstone Township. Obviously, the goal here is to have a conversation, see if the township would consider opting in. If so, we believe they're an experienced operator that would bring benefit. And so we wanted to present here today the opportunity to discuss and answer questions. Next slide, if you would. This is just a map to give you an idea. The number of cannabis dispensaries in central Jersey has grown as the market has grown throughout the state. But as you can see, that little red arrow points to where Millstone Township is, which is sort of in a bit of a desert, although what this doesn't show is that you do have some coming in towards the top where Freehold Township is. They are now going to have one that's not on that map yet. And to the left of the arrow right up in there, I think it's East Windsor and a couple others that have opted in and have dispensaries coming. So, we wanted to point this out in simply saying that the municipalities are adapting to these markets. You have East Windsor, Heightstown, that's another one that has come in, and Freehold. There are now over 300 dispensaries statewide. Roughly 40% of municipalities have opted in. And so for that reason, we know that even townships that are opted out reconsider every now and again. It's just the nature of the thing that, we know that folks wanted to wait and see, kind of test the waters, right? Let other municipalities get out ahead. Now we know the sky hasn't fallen, that this is something that's generating revenue throughout the state. And so that's one of the reasons that, I come to you today. The market is one of the country's strongest in New Jersey. It's got a safe, consistent reputation. And so, from our standpoint, we propose to operate here in a strong way that would provide a lot of benefit for the municipality. We target roughly $75,000 to $200,000 in tax revenue that we could generate. On the back of the handout that I provided to you, you'll see a breakdown of projections for what we believe the retail store could do, and that translates, of course, into revenue, which trickles down to tax revenue for the township. And these numbers, are conservative, very much so, based on the performance of the other store. Of course, we factor in location, traffic counts, and everything that goes specific to this site in determining these numbers. And so, we wanted to just lay that out to give you a sense. If you could go to the next slide for me. To wrap up, I wanted to just cover quickly, specifically Millstone Township. You guys have what would be two great zoning opportunities. To the north, you have the industrial mixed use. To the south, it's your main retail corridor. That's where this site is located. There's other retail all around it. So in terms of fitting the nature of the area, we think it would very, very well. Cannabis zoning throughout New Jersey is, considered to be different in every township depending on what they're going for with the location. So we really wanted to open it up to see if you have any thoughts on where, if you were going to consider opting in, where you would want it. And then the next slide, if you would. Specifically, if you were to consider that south area, this is 504 Monmouth Road in a little bit more detail. It's roughly an 1,800 square foot retail space. This describes the benefits of the shopping center that it's located in for this use. We estimate that there's 13 to 15,000 cars a day, and that's how we, one of the factors that we use in contemplating what type of business this store could do. And as we mentioned, there has been a successful CBD store there for quite some time now that has not had issues. The general public seems to like it very much. And so, the compliance plans are even significantly more detailed for a cannabis operation. Security, product tracking, age verification. As I mentioned, no open products or cannabis consumption at all. And then last slide, if you would. Second to last. This is what we propose, to support the framework for municipal success. I'm sure your attorney and your team have an idea of if the township wanted to opt in, how that might look, what they might be able to put together. We just kind of laid out some different concepts that we've seen in other townships to consider. Essentially that in that third number, the most important part is determining the pathway for the resolution of support, what that would look like, whether it would be an application like an RFP process, which some townships have done, just selecting locations and going through the planning board process, which some do through their zoning. Uncapped resolutions of support is that last one. I don't recommend it. It's just, a mess in other places. And so, it's something that I would highly recommend you not do because it leads to a bit of administrative chaos and ultimately sort of a real estate battle within your zone and potentially litigation. And then ultimately saturation if everybody were to succeed. Lastly, on that last slide, we really just want to say thank you for the opportunity to present to you, to make ourselves available, and to follow up with any more information that might help you. We'd be certainly happy to sit with if you have an economic committee or anybody from the township that focuses on new revenue opportunities. My contact information is here. Again, I'm the CEO of Longview Strategic. I've worked with Jersey Meds through their entire process of becoming a regulated operator and opening. It's been a delight. And I can tell you that they're an incredible family story and operator, and they care a lot about the community where they operate. And I think they would be a wonderful partner for this township. So I leave you with this leave behind as a handout. Kevin also has on the computer a copy of the presentation. But if you need either of these, we can certainly get you more of them or more information about anything that we discussed today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are there any questions that I can answer while I'm here, or any ideas that you might have as to?
The other location that you have, what are the hours of operation, days of the week, type of security that you have there?
Yep.
If you could just go into.
Absolutely. So it's currently shuttered because CBD is now being.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pennington. The Pennington location, if you want to speak to, we actually have Karan as the manager. You want to give the specific hours?
Absolutely, yeah, so,
You have to come up, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Name and your address, please.
I got you. Garan
You can
Lavchandani.
just lift it up.
Garan Lavchandani.
Oh, you broke it now.
Could you spell your name, please?
Yeah, absolutely, it's KaranLalchandani.
Oh, you were on here. I thought you were on one of the.
Oh, sorry, he's Dolly's son.
Yeah, we're sorry. So hours of operation open 7 days a week, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. As far as security measures go, very robust process. We verify every single ID that comes in. There's security measures in place where only the patrons are entered through a buzzer, and so no one can just walk in the store. Essentially, there's a wall in the check-in area, and then the actual physical store itself. But IDs are checked, and that's the process essentially right now.
What
And security guard in the front.
You have an actual security guard
Yeah,
there?
we do.
And that's really a question of service in a lot of places. The township often doesn't require that, and it really is a question of whether that's an ambassador or a guard or a security guard. You know, we kind of fluctuate based on the environment, whether oftentimes in more urban metro environments, it's a guard. In environments where it's more rural, you oftentimes see what is like an ambassador, but there's always somebody in that front that must verify ID and is serving that purpose. They are also always equipped with a panic button, something that if anything were to go wrong, you know, security would be alerted immediately.
In the case of the security guard, are they armed or unarmed?
Ours are unarmed.
Unarmed.
Correct, yes. Unarmed. And also IDs are checked again at the register, just to verify the sale is actually going to the person that did check in. So there's no issue of selling the wrong product to the wrong person or to someone that shouldn't be there.
There are also cameras covering every inch of every regulated shop in the state, every operation actually in the cannabis supply chain. And so those cameras have redundant backup. They have to be held for an extended period of time. Every single camera can be tapped into by the CRC at any given moment. So it's actually one of the most regulated spaces in the state, even in the sort of like the corner in the break room of a dispensary.
Yeah, we about 40 cameras active running, and I believe the township also we give access to.
Oh, yeah, we can also certainly provide your police with feed if that's something that you were
I
interested
know
in.
Pennington PD, they're fantastic people. They have access to our cameras at all times, and we voluntarily give that to them. I haven't seen a dispensary with more cameras than us personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So isn't it just a place where you come and basically pick up an order, or is it like a place where people like hang out, like it becomes like a lounge and you have people?
No,
So it's literally you come in,
Correct.
you get whatever your order is, and you leave, in other words?
Correct.
Okay.
We're strictly against any type of solicitation, any lounge access. It's a place where people come in, they make their purchase.
And then-
We do guide them, of course, if they have questions, and then they simply, go on with their day. But the majority of our orders are pre-orders.
If my math is right, about 17 people an hour.
Give or take a little more, yeah.
And the ordering, it's amazing, but it shifts very quickly to being pre-order and pickup once people are comfortable with the product that they're buying. Normally it's the loyalty program, like that, they pick based on certain things, and then once they're in the process, they generally are very quick shoppers. They're reordering, a lot of the time. You'd be amazed. The turn time for pickup is sometimes 2 to 3 minutes because it's, a very fast process.
Our average is 2.5 minutes.
2.5.
From the time.
From order to pickup?
Correct. Yeah, we get orders ready in less than 30 seconds.
That many people?
Yeah. So it's a very quick
What
process.
is the largest, I'm actually not familiar, what is the largest amount somebody could order at a given time? Like say of the flour?
1 ounce in New Jersey.
By law, correct.
Yep. And so it caps them, and they can't, what's called loop. They're not able to come back into the store and buy another cart full.
Is there a time frame involved?
24 hours, within a day. And that's something that, they're not consuming in the space anyway. So in terms of, limits, it's really based on the state regulations and staying compliant more than anything else.
Aware what it was.
Yeah, and it is, that carries over into the other products as well, so edibles, tinctures, that's all, has a weight of product associated with it, and so they can only fill the cart with so many of those until they reach that limit, and it won't let them put more in.
So it's an aggregate total of different products?
Yeah.
Not to exceed?
Exactly.
Based on flour equivalency.
Okay.
Yeah, they equivalate it, they make it all equivalent to that ounce of flour, and they say essentially, the edible is this much, the tincture is this much, and it happens all kind of in the background in your cart, but it makes it so that you cannot purchase more, and it'll sort of, kick that last product out on you. Yeah, it's really tightly regulated in a way that makes it so that products, it can't go missing. There isn't diversion. If a product is bad, if somebody gets a product and it's not working and they bring it back to the store, it actually has to go back to the manufacturer. So the retail owner can't even just throw it in the trash. You're never going to end up with, cannabis products in the dumpster outside the store. It doesn't happen. It's
So no dumpster diving?
no dumpster diving. It's all in that sense so tightly regulated that some of the stuff you would think like this is crazy, but it's to prevent diversion. It's to ensure that that everything goes the way it's supposed to.
You wouldn't
Essentially.
even find an empty wrapper outside our store.
No, it's funny, you close up and then you get 50 people going to your dumpster.
No.
No, and the funny part is also that people don't. It's sort of like a consumption thing that they don't do it like right outside your store. We don't really have a problem with it. People always ask, are people sort of hanging around or in the
That's why I
parking
was
lot?
asking about the lounge part, like, are people like using it in
No,
there, like, and then
it tends to
going
be
somewhere else?
no, it tends to be a little bit like any other convenience store, purchase. They're coming on their way to something, or coming and going to or from something. Oftentimes, this might sound crazy to the non-cannabis user, but people will buy on their way to work. It's not about using it at the time of purchase. It's about when can you get there to pick it up, and then ultimately, it's a lot of times for, a weekend or even that night, and people just kind of hold on to it until they're ready to use it. I do think that in terms of the township's opportunity here, this location, it is a store that could be activated very quickly. If there was a desire for it to be in another location in the township, they've expressed, that they'd be flexible and would look at if there are other sites that the township, prefers. From our standpoint, that shopping center is as good a location, as any, because it's in what is your retail corridor, where people are used to shopping. To your point, they're shopping there already, so that's probably what they would do there, and then they'd move on with their day.
And is it regulated how many people are allowed in the storefront at a time? You said that it was only a couple minutes to fill an order, but
Sure.
if you have 10 people that come in and want their order, then you have 10 people standing there.
That's a great question. We go by the local ordinance as far as how many people can be physically inside the store present. But generally speaking, that's the main objective of our security, is to control the lines to ensure that there's not a chaos going on, or like a Black Friday type of line. In those situations, then security generally just they advise people to just wait in their cars, and then when one person leaves, the next one come in. Yeah. But we're really good at what we do, so it's very rare for that to happen.
Okay.
There are also ways, if there was, for example, some event that we expected to drive a ton of traffic for some reason, there are ways to manage pickup times through, not filling the order and they don't get a text that says it's ready until the time, so if you expected high volume, you would manage it in that way and fill the orders in, a pattern that would allow it to sort of flow evenly.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Thank you all.
Thank you for your presentation.
Absolutely.
Here's my agenda. Oh, here it is.
Any old business? Tara, old business?
Nope,
Kevin? Nothing? Okay, comments from the dais? None? All right, at this point, I'd like to open it up to the public. If anybody would like-
9:09?
If anybody would like to come in?
Evening.
My name is Brian Brown. I live at 18 Winding Creek. I have just a few questions maybe you can help me with. I moved to the township 32 years ago, and it was very rural and clean and so forth and so on. I've taken it upon myself recently to start picking up trash along Bergen Mills, Old 33, and I've gotten people helping out, honking at me and so forth and so on. I've stopped by Stavola, spoken to them. They went out and brought a whole crew in and cleaned up their property, put up a new fence just yesterday to prevent people were dumping rugs and so forth and so on. My question is, if you go down Old 33 and look across towards Colonial Stream, the RV place, there's a trailer that's been there for I don't know how long, and the Amazon workers stop, they park their cars, and I guess wait for a call.
Wait, are you talking about at the triangle?
Yeah, there's
On the north side?
Yes, on the north side of 33.
Okay.
So there's been a trailer there for years, and now they're parking, and there's now tire parts, car parts. I don't know who owns the property.
So we know the owner of the property, and there was another company that for whatever reason, there was a bit of a change in ownership. The gentleman owned it, passed away or whatever. And there was a company that started parking some trucks there, and it was only for a few days, and we sent the owner a notice, and they instructed the other people that we're gonna tow you if you leave it. So you shouldn't see any more trucks being left over.
Oh, there's one still there, the box is there, the trailer.
Yeah, I think that was part of the owner's.
Okay.
I
And
think
now-
that was done.
so
But the
yeah.
other trucks that were coming in for like a week or so, they were there, actually, I don't even think it was a full week.
Oh, was it?
They shouldn't see any more of that.
Well, I haven't seen anything since this
But
one
please
trailer.
let me know if you do.
Right. So the
The
other,
tires, unfortunately, we get stuff dropped off around town.
so who actually owns the property? Who could I call? Because I've been so vulnerable.
So what is your concern with the property? About-
The Amazon workers are parking there. I'm assuming they're all
Right.
Amazon workers because they're just parking, hanging out there. And then there's all kinds of trash all over the place.
All right, well,
Now, I
that I
contacted-
could handle that.
Yeah.
So,
We contacted Amazon.
we did, I don't know if it's, do you see Amazon trucks in there?
No, there's.
There was
there's-
tractor trailers that I know that people were sleeping in there, or they were like dropping off something and leaving for a day or two.
I haven't seen that
Well,
either.
that was going on a couple weeks ago, we put an end to it, but I'll make sure the trash is
The
cleaned up.
Amazon workers now use their own personal cars, I know, in the whole area. There used to be the vans, but now we don't see them anymore, it's just private cars. So the private cars are there, and they're hanging out waiting for a call, and bottles, cans, urine bottles, so forth and so on.
The trash I'll
They're
take care
trash in the
of.
place. Now, we contacted Amazon once, and they sent somebody down, and they cleaned up real nice, and then it's back to where it was. So there's
Alright,
tires and car parts.
I'll take care of
So
it.
if you could help me out with
No,
that.
I'll notify the owner, he's gonna get, you got a reasonable amount of time to get it cleaned
Yeah,
up,
just get it
or
cleaned up,
otherwise
yeah.
he gets a violation.
Yeah, I mean, and the other stuff is not your problem, it's Farrington Boulevard that goes all the way down to Amazon. And I was griping the other day when I drove Dunkin' Donuts, I'd come down Farrington, go back home, and there was urine bottles all over the place.
No, so that is
But-
still my problem.
But
so
somebody
I'll
cleaned
take
it up, so those got cleaned up, they cut the grass, they picked up the, so great, it's
Okay.
wonderful. But now as you continue down towards the intersection of Millstone Road and Bergen Mills, I clean up Bergen Mills, I clean up.
Yeah, you and I have talked in the past about it, and I met with the gentleman from Stavola.
Yes,
That he
John.
was even asking about, continuing the fence to make
Yeah,
it, so
yeah.
they're dealing with it. But you know where to find me, that if it gets worse, we have our DPW, we've had Clean Communities go up there, where the Boy Scouts actually have gone up there, actually cleaned up as well. I know you do a very good job. But anytime it starts going south, just let me know, and
Okay.
I'll get a hold of the proper owners of where it is.
Yeah,
Whether it's the Farrington side, or if it's the other gentleman who's in the Triangle, or
Gotcha.
Stavola, I'll be glad to
Great.
contact them.
No, Savola's been wonderful, I mean.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want
To
trouble.
find who owned the property is Arcosa out of Dallas, Texas now owns them.
Yeah.
And then John called me an hour later and says, I'll meet you there. He said, what do you need? Like, all the grass cut, dead trees taken away.
Yeah, he
Front
came
doors came
in,
in.
told to get a permit and stuff, so
Yeah.
he was, so that's what I'm saying, if I get notified if it gets out of hand, I could contact according to where it is, with the owner, and if they don't, then they get violations.
Appreciate that,
So,
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You have his contact info, right?
yeah, we have to go back and find it, but if you wanted to send me another email just to freshen it up.
That'd be great.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. I'd like to close it to the public at?
9:14.
Okay, I just have one last thing, and I apologize for ending this meeting on a sad note. 2 weeks ago, we had a moment of prayer for one of our local residents, Ian Walker, and it was at 8 o'clock, and the family had asked everybody to, say something in their minds to keep him, have him recover or something, to better his condition. Unfortunately, he passed away. And his name was Ian Joseph Walker. He was 30 years old, passed away surrounded by his loving family on Sunday, June 14th. He was born on March 26, 1996, and he was raised in Millstone. He worked for Anheuser-Busch as an operating engineer for 8 years. Ian met the love of his life, Sarah, in December of 2020 at the Navesink Marina, and the two married in 2025. Ian enjoyed playing basketball, riding his Harley, drinking Bud Lattes, cuddling with his car Tank, and watching the New York Jets and Knicks. Too bad he didn't see the Knicks win. He was known for being incredibly hardworking, generous, and making everyone laugh. He was a charming force of nature and had a beautiful faith that brought him peace as he battled his cancer over the past 8 months. Ian is survived by his wife, Sarah, their pets Tank and Olive, parents Scott, Christine, brothers Daniel, Ryan, Thomas, and Chuck, and a bunch of other relatives. He had a strong group of close friends and loving extended family, too many to mention. Visitation will be on Friday, June 19th from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Homedale Funeral Home at 26 South Homedale Road in Homedale, New Jersey. So, unfortunately,
Very sad.
yeah, very sad. Our sympathy goes to the family, and nobody should ever experience that. So I apologize for ending the meeting on that note. At this point, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Thank you. And a second? Is he still with us?
Jeff?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
definitely-
Just a second.
What if you don't get a second?
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
All right, time
Time
out
out,
9:17.
Thank you.